You are listening to the Boss Experience Podcast, a podcast with conversations about business growth, self-development, and maintaining a mindset to achieve business success. My name is Michele Davis, and I am a business strategist and coach, and I am your host. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of the Boss Experience, the podcast that helps coaches and entrepreneurs create an offer that sells itself with AI and automation. My name is Michele Davis, and I'm your host. And today I'm discussing a topic that I'm sure is going to hit home for some people because it's one of the biggest game changers with the introduction of AI in the technology world. And that's 5 services I no longer need because of AI. And these services are services that I used to hire people for to fulfill for me in my business. So while I understand a lot of freelancers may not be particularly happy about the change that AI has brought to the business world, I want it to be not a sign that you need to be out of business, but it's with the introduction of AI, if you're finding you're operating a business, whether it's freelance, coaching, or something else that seems to be taken over by AI, it's time to pivot. And it's time to pivot in a way that enables you to provide a service that goes beyond what AI can do. And I did another episode on that topic where I talk about the future of coaching. And that advice can also go toward the future of just certain types of services. Because with AI, you're either going to be upset about it or you're going to embrace it. And those that embrace it are going to be the ones that stay in business. So let me be clear about something. I am not anti-hiring. I've hired so many freelancers and entrepreneurs over the years, but what I am is pro-efficiency. And I'm about what makes my business operate more smoothly without me taking more time to carry out a task. And AI has been a game changer for my business. I've been able to set things up and it just works for me 24/7 without me having to do training, without me having to go back and forth with anyone. I'm not against hiring people, but the people I hire in the future are going to have to be proficient in AI, and they're going to have to provide a service in a way and give me something that AI can't. Just because you have money flowing into your business, whether you're earning 6 figures or whatever the case, you still want your business to produce revenue, right? You still are looking at, why am I paying for this when I can get this? And it's the case now, and it's certainly going to be the case as AI makes advancements in the future. The direction that AI is going in, AI is becoming your personal assistant. It's becoming the creative member of your team. It's become your tech department. And AI can even be your receptionist. So let's talk about some of those services that I used to pay hundreds for and sometimes thousands for that I've been able to replace with AI tools. And since doing that, obviously I can produce things faster. I don't need to spend the time and effort interviewing people and sorting through, people that are interested in a particular position. So it saved me a lot of time with the introduction of these tools into my business, in addition to really being more efficient than any human can, and more affordable as well. So let's get into it. When it comes to AI, the truth is the very people you want to work with in your business are already seeing and experiencing AI. They're seeing it on social media, in their inbox, and even in their customer service experiences. So if you're a coach, marketer, or service provider and you don't know how to use AI yet, you're not just being left behind, you're replaceable. So whether you want to use AI to grow your business or help your clients grow theirs, Billie Jean is one of the few teaching you how to actually do that. Head over to AIagencyconsultant.com. That's AIagencyconsultant.com to get started. Okay, now back to the show. Let's start with graphic design. That's the first service I've been able to replace with AI tools. So in the past, I used to pay for, different fonts because I wanted my graphics to not just be graphics, but to also have that signature font or certain typography. And I used to pay for someone to do that for me. And, over the years, I've had to do that less and less because there's been apps that have come out where, all you have to do is take a little bit of time and you can produce font in minutes. There's Canva that you can, get various fonts with. But, with the introduction of not just ChatGPT, but other AI tools, Midjourney, like graphic, you could basically text what you want the image to be and it creates it. And, Dolly is another tool. And you got, the Canva's Magic Design. I used to pay for someone not just to create designs, but also to edit them for me. Now I have, Dolly, I have Canva, Magic Edit. I have a lot of resources in the form of AI tools that can do those things for me that I once hired people to do. And these AI tools can create logos, they can create custom templates, design lead magnet covers, and build product mockups. And things like Dolly and Midjourney are just some of the tools that are out there. I mean, every day there's a new tool hitting the marketplace. They offer free plans so you can try them out. But graphic design was once one of those services I spent hundreds and thousands of dollars for that have now been replaced by AI tools. Now, will AI tools replace every single graphic design need? Probably not. But for, things like logo creation and those simple projects that the average solopreneur, coach, or SaaSpreneur, entrepreneur needs, they can just seek out an AI tool to do it for them. Another service I used to pay for is research and strategy. So anyone that's launching anything, you need to know what the trends are in the market. And, typically this can be done by a virtual assistant or someone who knows how to go and research what's happening in the market. And that way you can create your offer in a way that's going to allow it to be competitive in the market. And while you can hire a VA or someone or assign this task to someone on your team, with the introduction of AI and the various tools that can do the market research for me, it saves me a tremendous amount of time because here's what I used to do prior to launching a product or, seeing what's out there in the market, what are the trends, and even when planning content calendars so that I could release not just content for social media, but even content for the podcast. What are people talking about? What do people want to know more about so that you can increase interest in what you're creating? Because no one wants to spend hours and hours creating anything and then no one's listening, no one's watching, right? So you want to make sure that what you create is something that's going to be of interest to people. And when I got really busy, I did hire someone to do this work for me and to report back, in terms of what, or to compile a report in terms of what they found a particular trend to be around a particular topic. Now, ChatGPT handles all of that for me. I can ask it, what's trending in the coaching industry right now? Give me 10 webinar topics for a financial coach. What are the top 10 questions someone asks before hiring a business strategist? And in seconds, I've got what it used to take hours for me to compile. AI is literally your research assistant with no delays, and it works for you 24/7. Now, obviously, those aren't the exact prompts that I use, but you get the gist of what I mean when I say you can ask a question and get the answer within seconds. The third service is copywriting. Now, there's been some debate about copywriting because a lot of the copywriters will say, AI sounds very robotic. It's not in the way you normally speak. And you have some people that feel like, if you use AI to write something that somehow you're cheating. And the thing is with AI, anything you produce with AI, you need to review it. Nothing you produce using in any AI tool should you ever just take it and just release it because AI does make errors. You have to train AI to know your voice, know your business. and to be able to respond for you. And it doesn't matter what AI tool you use. Now, with copywriting, the typical copywriting task, for a coach or solopreneur is emails. It could be, a sales page. It could be the copy that you use on your website, the text on your landing page, social media captions, even podcast scripts, like you're listening to now, webinar scripts. And despite what people say that AI can't detect your tonality when you speak, couldn't be further from the truth, because as long as you train the AI and you work with it long enough, it actually does. You'd be amazed what you can do. And a lot of people that are saying that are either selling you a copywriting service, or they are afraid to try AI themselves. So there's nothing wrong with using AI to help you with copywriting. I've even used AI as a thought partner to help me generate ideas and to give me different options. And then you go in and tweak it. So instead of taking days to write a sales page, you can literally, do it in an hour or less. The fourth service I no longer have to hire anyone to do for me is video editing. In the past, I've hired people to edit my podcast. I've hired people to edit, my content videos. And the biggest thing I used to hire people for, especially, doing podcasting, and considering this is number 150 plus in terms of podcast episodes, I've had to hire people to even create clips for me. And I don't have to do that anymore, right? I don't have to have anybody take my video and repurpose it into reels or repurpose it into written content. AI can do it for me. AI tools like Descript can actually, you edit the text and it edits the video for you. Opus Clips takes your long form video, whether the video is an hour long, 45 minutes long, and it breaks it up into clips and gives you captions. ChatGPT can take a podcast episode and turn it into social media content or content for you to use, for your email marketing to send out to subscribers. And I call it like content cloning because it's a way for you to create one piece of content and turn it into 10 different formats without burning out, without spending hours to do it, especially the clips that used to take me a long time to do. And because it took a long time, when I started outsourcing that task, it took that person a long time. And so I had to pay accordingly because it's taking them a long time to go through an hour-long podcast video and, create clips and create captions. I can just use AI to do it now, and it's less time and less money. So what once was like a $500 a month service, I now can use AI to do it and have a better turnaround time and be in control of my content and in control of the quality of it as well. And the fifth and final service I want to mention is a receptionist or admin support. A lot of people would think, well, why would a coach, especially an online one, need a receptionist, right? Why? And when you're thinking about receptionists and when you're thinking about admin support, you have to think, when you're putting out content, you have DMs you have to respond to. You have lead follow-up. You don't want to advertise and not follow up with your leads. You want appointments on your calendar, or you want your webinar full, and even answering the phone. And yes, someone answering your phone does benefit a coach because you're making yourself accessible to your clients and you're more reputable if you have an actual phone number. People are more likely to feel comfortable paying you, particularly if they don't know you, they're just seeing you online. People don't want to be scammed. And so if there's a phone number, a legitimate phone number, someone they can call, even if it's AI on the other end, that makes people feel, more comfortable doing business with you. And with AI tools like voice AI and chat automation, I don't have to hire someone to do those things for me. I can respond to new leads when they come in. If someone sends me a message, I can send appointment reminders. I can qualify potential clients. to make sure they're an ideal fit for what I have to offer. And I can deliver lead magnets. And then the cool thing is, if you're doing any type of outreach and people are DMing you back, you can set up AI to answer those messages for you as well. Not to mention, the fact that you can run campaigns, keyword campaigns, where you could say, text me the word offer and you'll get XYZ. You can do that as well. All while you're out doing other things, your AI chatbot is delivering your lead magnet or booking people onto your calendar or filling up your webinar. If someone calls me, my voice AI receptionist can answer the call. And if someone wants to speak to me, my AI voice receptionist can transfer the call to me, right? So essentially, people can be guided to the next step in my process. That way, I can nurture them and eventually close them out as a client. And it reduces my time having to explain to them how my service is going to help them, because by the time they get to me, they're already warmed up and they already are fully aware about what I do and how I do it and what I can help them achieve. With all that said, here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're never going to have to outsource again, because there's a time, place, and stage in your business where you do need to build a team so you can scale your business. But most of the solopreneurs I meet aren't at a place in their business where they should be scaling. And when you're just starting out, or when you're in the early stage of your business and you're not really generating the revenue that you'd like to see in your business, or you're not generating enough revenue to actually leave your 9 to 5, and hiring and outsourcing isn't going to get you there faster for so many reasons. So the goal is for you to operate efficiently and to cut your costs without cutting your results. And AI gives you the support you need without giving you the payroll and without giving you the expense of having to outsource something you haven't even learned yet. And that is like the critical mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make, is they try and fix things by getting someone to do it for them, and they don't know what that person is supposed to be doing. AI takes care of that problem. It helps you work efficiently so that you can feel like you have that team, even though you don't have the cost of what a team would cost if you outsource a lot of the tasks that now AI has taken over and can perform for you. So I want you to think about, what are you actually spending money for in your business, and whether those tasks are actually moving you forward in the right direction when it comes to increasing the revenue in your business. Because here's the truth. AI isn't just replacing certain types of service providers. It's eliminating that overwhelm, and it's eliminating burnout in your life. So imagine if you stopped spending money on things that AI could actually handle for you and started reinvesting that money and time into actual growth, business growth that actually propels you forward in your business, which can mean more content, better clarity about how you help get people a solution, which can lead to more clients. And if you take nothing else away from this episode, I want you to understand that if you operate a business within one of the industries I mentioned in this episode, it's not gloom and doom because AI is here. What you want to do is you want to structure an offer that goes beyond what AI can provide and deliver something to people that they just can't get from AI. And whatever that is going to be depends on what your niche is and what your expertise is in. And just think of AI as the tool, it's not the transformation. And it's the cheat code, essentially, that you didn't know you had. So with that said, I'm so happy you tuned in. Subscribe wherever you're watching this or listening to this episode so that you know the next time I release a new episode. Be sure to tune in to the next episode of the Boss Experience podcast. Take care and be well. Thank you for tuning in to the Boss Experience podcast. Don't forget to leave a review for this episode and tune in next time.